Go to any grocery store and you'll find that one of our most important values is choice. You can buy food from all over the world at any price range. Of course, not all choices are equal. I can choose to buy a certain fruit instead of another fruit, but I can't put the fruit in my pocket and walk out the door. One choice is simply about my preferences, but another choice concerns something more grave, a choice between doing what is wrong or not. These kinds of choices are frowned upon by society or even made illegal. When the government found that a large Canadian meatpacking company's products were contaminated, they pulled all that brand name meat off the market. By then, dozens got sick and 15 Canadians had died. In doing so, they removed the choice of Canadians to purchase those products, even for Canadians who were willing to take the risk of eating that meat. This was true of pregnant women too, because even if the meat could only make adults sick, it could kill their unborn children, especially those in their first trimester. So clearly, we can't choose to do whatever we want, especially if that choice is lethal to ourselves or to other people. And that's the same with the abortion debate. We recognize abortion is a choice, but just because it's a choice, it doesn't mean it should be legal. For example, if a woman were to buy some of that contaminated meat and intentionally feed it to her child, the government would likely put her in jail for child abuse. So the question isn't, is abortion a choice? The question is, what kind of choice is it? Is it a lethal choice? Most abortion advocates have tried to answer that question by claiming that women can not only choose abortion, but they can choose to value the fetus whatever way they want. If they are religious pro-lifers, they say, they can accept the fetus as valuable for them. If they are not, they can choose to value the fetus as much or as little as they want. One abortion advocate writes that there will never be consensus on the status of the fetus. Therefore, we should leave it up to each pregnant woman to decide their fetus's value. Of course, using that logic, that abortion advocate would have to agree that since societies around the world have never come to consensus about the value of women, we should let each individual culture determine for themselves what rights women should have. Her own argument undermines the claims of feminism. But that's the problem here. Abortion advocates have turned an objective claim pro-lifers make into a subjective one. They haven't really answered our question because they've changed the question. Let me illustrate. Imagine if I were to offer you a choice between this orange and this apple. Which one would you choose? Would it matter? Well, not really, right? But then if I were to tell you that one of the fruit had the same lethal contamination as the maple leaf meat, would it matter then which one you chose? Of course it would, because the criteria you use to make the choice is no longer about what you prefer, but about the facts, which fruit nourishes you and which one poisons you. Not only that, you'd be mad at me for offering you that choice in the first place, right? Because it's not really a choice. When pro-lifers say abortion kills an unborn child, we are not making a preference claim. What we are saying is that there are good reasons to believe that the choice of abortion is lethal to someone. And these objective facts mean we need to pull that choice from the market, just like any other lethal choice. You may disagree, but you can't just dismiss our claims as our preferences, because that's not the kind of claim pro-lifers are making. Instead, you have to provide better facts than what we provided you. Oh, and ignorance is not an excuse either. Just because we don't know if a choice is potentially lethal, it doesn't give us a right to choose it. For example, if I were a hunter and I was shooting into the bushes when I saw something moving, I wouldn't be justified because I didn't check first to see if someone was actually there. In the same way, if I were to offer you fruit and I wasn't sure that one of the fruit wasn't poison, that would still be my fault. Some choices are good, but some choices are lethal and shouldn't be legal.